Yo, what is up, my friends? Welcome to another episode of Dostcast. मेरा नाम है Vinamre and Vedant. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing because we release new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. See, this intro has become such a mouthful for me to speak कि मेरी सांस खत्म हो जाती है. Anyway, today's guest is Vedant Lamba, founder of MainStreet Marketplace, एक sneaker and other things reselling platform. I hope I'm not butchering the description, but you can check out the conversation. पता लग जाएगा. I am someone who knows virtually nothing about this world. And he is someone who is literally embodying all of that world. तो वो जो तालमेल बैठती है is confusing at times, tough at times, but ultimately this is an educational podcast and a little bit of bakchodi for anyone who's interested to know कि हिंदुस्तान के अंदर स्नीकर कौन बेच रहा है और कौन खरीद रहा है और ये हाइप नाम की चीज़ क्या है. So the episode with Vedant Lamba begins in 3, 2, 1. I saw you first at your We Got Cash party and at the Tag Mango pad where you were celebrating getting funded. That was quite the rage ever since MainStreet has taken a life of its own. But usse pehle, to contextualize things, I saw a video of you from 4 years ago where you started a podcast with two fit friends कि हम इंडिया के अंदर street culture लेके आएंगे. And it's funny, you look very young. I had no idea 22. You're 23, 22 right now? 22, right?
Yeah.
It's been a crazy 4 years. And you were into podcasting like 4 years ago. How did you even get the idea कि मैं podcast शुरू करता हूँ to talk about street style in India?
I don't know, man. It was just, I lived on YouTube for a while. And when we were starting MainStreet, the idea was, okay, how do you, we just identified that there was a clear gap. And the goal was always, okay, how do you fill this gap? And, the business never came from, I love shoes, I love selling shoes, so I want to build a business selling shoes. It was just, okay, there seems to be an opportunity.
Right.
What do you think is the right thing to do here? And we were building on YouTube. It seemed like, okay, we should be doing two videos a week. One to pull in like a new crowd, to incentivize new people to come and watch, and then one to give them a little bit of like an in-depth conversation, to, retain them in this space and convert them into... It's pretty funny because it seems so naive because we didn't know jack. I still don't think I know jack about this space, but at that time it was just like, wow, I heard of sneakers and now I'm like, I will teach this country about shoes.
So, about sneakers, I'm wearing these old ass boots that I bought from the UK. I haven't gotten around to buying sneakers. For me, the sneakers ka jo idea still represents kids who are wearing all-star Converse in school. And it's taken on whatever forms it's taken on now with jo ye Air Jordan ke joote aate and all that. In fact, yesterday only I was talking to a friend who purchases a lot of shoes from drops. And he showed me the shoe called the Air Jordan 1 High School. The blue shoe. I don't know if you know that one.
UNC?
Is that the UNC? I don't know.
There's no high school.
Sorry, university. That's what it's called.
University blue.
University
UNC.
blue. मेरे को confused हो रहा था high school,
so
college,
Air
university.
Jordan 1 High thing.
Okay.
So it starts with Air Jordan is a brand.
नहीं ये तो मेरे को पता है
Air Jordan. No,
हाँ.
I'm just giving you the anatomy of it.
Right.
So Air Jordan is a brand. Air Jordan 1 is the silhouette. Air Jordan 1 High is the high top version of that silhouette. There's highs, mids and lows. And then University Blue is the colorway.
Yeah.
Actually, it's called UNC because University Blues is like the University of North Carolina. UNC. That's a
UNC
college
Chapel Hill. Huh.
No, University of North Carolina, UNC, is the college that Michael Jordan went to. And his jersey colors there were blue and white. So
I see.
So the University Blue Jordan 1 is a blue and white shoe.
How difficult is it explaining what you do every single time to people?
If you care, it's difficult. I'm not really pressed to explain it. So when people ask me what I do these days, my go-to is just, I work at a shoe store. It's like, what do you do? So we sell shoes. And then if they care, then you tell them, right? Otherwise, it's like you're assuming that they give a shit when someone asks. They don't always give a shit when they ask.
Right.
So it's not a big deal.
It's kind of difficult to get into shoes. Matlab, one of the consensuses that I arrived at from talking to several friends is कि you kind of have to know कि जूता कहाँ से मिलेगा. Do you buy it online? Do you go to the store? All of those things happen. Then I also heard about something called people using bots at drops, some stuff like that, because apparently जूते बड़े hyped होते हैं और ऐसे मिलते नहीं आराम से. Have you ever faced difficulties purchasing a shoe?
Damn, you've done your research, huh?
Yeah, no shit.
Okay, to give you a little bit of context, this whole industry works because of hype. My business works because there is this hype. So there's more demand than there is supply.
Right.
I've never tried buying a shoe at retail. Like I just don't care enough. But the whole point of our business is that it's hard to buy these shoes at their retail price.
Right.
So we built a space where you don't ever have to get in line or, hope or have luck involved. It's just anything you want, we have it. The only barrier is price. In a sense, the space is full of like opulence and money, right? So the people who have the money, they don't want to stand in line.
What's the difference between hype and heat?
It's the same thing, man. I mean, heat is like a qualitative metric.
Jesse, I was again told by sources that a hype shoe is something that, because I remember when I went to the US, Kim Kardashian was chilling, बहुत एक बकवास सी perfume बेच रही थी she was, but people were buying it. I know my sister bought it because she was a Kim K fan back in the day.
Not anymore, man.
No. I think this was a long time ago. This is also the same time when Justin Bieber came out with his girlfriend perfume. But point here,
wow, it's a really long time.
Yeah, this is a really long time ago. But I think that is what my definition of hype became to be, is okayish products with a lot of celebrities backing it.
No, man, that's a very specific explanation of maybe one or two things. Hype is a very society-driven, human, almost primal instinct. Anything that other people have and more people want than exists is just hype. That's it. I don't know if you've heard of like the tulip bubble of like the 1600s. There was a time when investing in tulips was the most profitable thing in the world.
Really?
There was a certain amount of tulips. I think there was somewhere in the Netherlands that were really rare.
You could invest in them?
People were investing in them, dude. People were investing. It was going up, it was shooting up in price rapidly. It's like the same way people do with sneakers. And then eventually it burst. The tulip burst is a big thing. Like it's a marquee moment in history to like define like human stupidity. Like it's beautiful.
Have you heard of Masterworks?
Pardon me?
Masterworks.
What is Masterworks?
Masterworks is this new company. It allows you to invest in blue chip paintings.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, paintings have the same NFTs, paintings, watches, cars, comic books, RC cars, handbags. I'm sure there's a limited ed model. There are bottles. We sell certain like limited edition bottles that make money. There's limited computers because everything. It's humans. It's very human.
Do you get queries about, ye street style to sahi hai, but why don't you have like more Indian kurta style stuff? Isn't that street as well?
We don't really care about street, man. We're very clear about curating a specific collection in a specific niche and providing a specific gap that needs to be filled.
Who buys these?
All kinds of people, man. You know, when people ask us our target demographic, I can't even say like 18 to 24. It's literally like 14 to 60.
And even 60-year-olds?
It's not like one-offs, dude. They're like old people who are like our best friends. Like we talk to them on the regular. They're like our closest customers.
Bro, I saw your channel. I realized you interviewed Anurag Kashyap. That was something, huh?
Yeah,
how do you land that? How do you even like understand ki Anurag Kashyap buys sneakers and you went up to his DVD library?
It was way back in the day, man. I'm friends with his daughter. She's cool. She set it up. It was, pure plain nepotism. But it was evident that, and at that time it was a huge deal. He's a really cool guy. But today, we're very lucky to be servicing the entire industry. So anybody who's like buying shoes is buying it from us. So we've come a long way from then. Anurag, it was pretty common knowledge that he was big into sneakers. But I think Alia had only told me that he's big into sneakers. And I was like, can we do podcasts? And she's like, yeah, and like did so well for us. It was great. I mean, people are still talking about it for us.
Yeah, no, I was very surprised. Like Anurag Kashyap talks about sneakers. And then you also have a series on your YouTube, which is I think more recent, where you had Harshvardhan Kapoor and you doing a face-off.
That was just
a sneaker quiz of some sort, which was obviously rigged in your favor.
Yeah, for sure. It was funny. The idea was we were just, I was, every now and then I go over to his house and I'm like, you got to get rid of a bunch of this shit. Never going to wear it. So we sell it at the store. And that was like a funny promo. The idea was we made it look like there's this quiz, and every time if he loses the quiz, we get to take a bunch of shit from his closet. So we made it look like it was extremely hard for him and easy for me. and we won the quiz, and we sold all of the shit at the store.
That's great.
So we also did a parody video, and I don't know if you've seen GQ has a series called 10 Things XYZ Can't Live Without. So
I
they do
haven't
like
seen
it's a cool series they've done with a bunch of people, right? 10 things Justin Bieber can't live without. And then it's him sitting in like a frame, like a wooden table, talking about like 10 things he always takes with him on tour. You know, like Macklemore has like a long iPhone charger and a perfume and this and that. Everybody has different things.
Right.
So we did a 10 things Harshvardhan Kapoor can live without. And so he's selling them at our store. It was just promo for that campaign. We call it the Big Steal.
The Big Steal.
Yeah.
Aren't you doing something as of today? Aaj kya tareekh hai? Today is
another
the
edition.
11th.
Today is the 11th of March. So 11th to 13th in the Delhi store, we're doing like a sale called Big Steal.
Yo, Dhanvel is a great place. I do not know why you decided to pick that place. I recently discovered it last year. And I've been frequenting those cafes whenever I want to have some avocados. Or like I know ki yaar, this is the place where I'm going to have very fancy cocktails and avocados and whatnot.
No alcohol on them.
Yeah? Really? Well, it just looks like that place. Like
it looks very nice.
Yes.
It's a wonderful spot. They have like some area issues with licensing. But yeah, Dhanvel was actually the first time MainStreet Marketplace, our store, ever had like a physical intervention of the world. Was at the Dhanvel. Because in 2018, Homegrown did an event in Dhanvel called Homegrown Street.
Right.
It was the first and unfortunately the last time they ever did it. It was huge. And they gave us a little table and we had like 12 pairs of shoes. And that was, I think, 3 months into us like starting MainStreet as an entity. So it was also like a very, full circle situation that we came back here to take out like a whole warehouse and we got the whole store and all of that.
Do you feel like your communication has changed ever since you've started to actively raise funding or kind of become a founder? Has it shifted from, I don't know, like a more casual approach ki, like we're in this culture and now you just have like padded statements that you give out? Has that changed at all?
Have I become less casual? No, I don't think so. I think I've become more casual because life is so much more fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you meet anyone who's known me long enough, they'll tell you I'm just the same, man. I never care about shoes. I only care about business. So it's not like it was, it's like he's running a business now suddenly. This was always the plan.
Usse pehle bhi, did you start a business at all?
Like 15, dude.
What were you doing?
Anything and everything you can think of, I've probably done.
Mumbai mein lemonade stand to kahin, matlab lemonade to kya hi bechoge?
Lemonade stand nahi kiya tha, lekin close enough. I probably thought of a franchise for lemonade at some point, which I didn't know how to run.
This is the basic entrepreneurship idea. Everyone thinks कि मैं नींबू पानी बेच दूंगा. I tried it myself. Then my mom was like, "But you will have to supply."
मैंने भी बेचा है. वैसे बेचा तो है. नींबू पानी भी बेचा है. I've done everything, dude. Everything from producing a theater play to making ads for Adidas to I had the idea for Dunzo like 5 years ago. I had the idea for Yulu. Not saying I had it before them, but I think I did. It was before they were business. They were probably they're just smarter. And it's not. They won clearly. It makes me happy though. Like these ideas are validated.
Yeah.
But you can go back to my room where I grew up, and you'll see like papers on the wall describing each of these ideas and like the plan of action with them. I actually traveled to the US trying to build on that Yulu business model, man, because I was so inspired of like Casey Neistat that I bought myself a boosted board. I used to actually also vlog. Yeah, I vlogged every day of my life for 700 days on YouTube.
For 700 days?
700 days.
I would like to show you my destroyed longboard.
Yeah, you have a longboard?
In Boston, I was a frequent longboarder here. I'll photo dikhata hu. Check this out. So, my roommate was a big California skater and I bought this beautiful board from Daddy's board shop and I rode it for 3 days और ये टूट गया. You see that?
What am I? It's just a photo of you, man.
I don't know where it went.
It looks pretty destroyed.
I had no idea that as a kid from India, I could potentially get into boarding. And I went to the US. फिर उसके बाद, for 2 years, I just used longboards. This is the board that couldn't last, but I had another one. Nice. And I saw a video of you, कोई एक vlog है where you're showcasing a look of some kind and then you were briefly riding a board. यहाँ तो ride नहीं कर सकते. Where do you even like ride?
क्यों नहीं?
Bro, yeah, in this around Delhi, there's not enough space for.
There is plenty of space.
Yeah,
I rode that as transport, my main transport in Pune and Bombay for like 2 years to 3 years.
You literally boarded in Mumbai
before
and Pune.
I had a boosted board. Boosted board is an electric.
हाँ वो तो पता है, the one with the remote. Yeah,
it's fantastic. Before that, I rode a fucking penny board, dude.
Penny board here in India.
Everywhere
it's the smallest version of the skateboard.
Smallest version of a skateboard.
That's crazy.
I rode it everywhere. And like, you'd like see me on the street on that shit.
Did you have friends who were also doing the same thing?
Nope.
So it was just you?
It was just me. Everybody's making fun of me.
India mein thoda
I get it. No, I get it. That was quite a joke.
I mean, like a skateboard is fine, but a penny board is really one of those things.
No, I mean, a penny board's actually a cruiser, right? A skateboard's much harder to ride on the roads.
Yeah?
Penny board is a cruiser, longboard is a cruiser. You can ride those as transport. You can't ride a skateboard as transport. Skateboard's like a trick board.
Can you do tricks? Nope.
No. I just loved the idea of like that boosted board was so much fun. So basically riding the boosted board, I realized that, wow, I'm not really subject to the conformities of traffic anymore. And I was like, this is clearly the solution. And I did some research and I came across an interesting thesis that I think 60% of rides are sub 4 kilometers and solo people in a single car. I was like, that's a giant waste. If people just had access to like sturdy, like single person electric vehicles at cheaper costs, they would use the shit out of them.
Uber ke scooters were very prevalent. I think they still are in LA.
Not like that, more like Bird.
Bird. Honey, Uber bhi karta hai, Bird bhi karta hai. There's a bunch of companies that do
Bird as a business model failed because of the Park Anywhere system.
Yeah.
And the lack of security. Those scooters were supposed to survive 4 months for them to break even on them.
Yeah.
They were lasting an average of 28 days.
That's crazy.
Because beyond a point, it just got like savage in the US. People were like leaving like scooters like hanging off trees and like dumpsters.
I remember that. There was a big phase of that.
It was horrible. The business model tanked in general, became like public nuisance, right? But prior to that, in general, my idea was, India is like horribly flooded with traffic in a lot of spots, right? Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, Pune even. And I felt like these scooters would fix that. So I traveled the States and I knew that the key was to building the right product. And I found a manufacturer who was willing to build with me. It's a very cool company in LA called Super 73.
They were willing to ship stuff to India as well.
And develop a product with me specifically for this. I then had to raise funds. I was, I think, 17. So I didn't know how to raise funds basically. So eventually I had to give up. I've basically just like given up and quit a lot.
Yeah. ये तो होता ही है जिंदगी में.
It's cool. No, the point is like prior to MainStreet, there was a lot of down.
But it's cool though. Like boarding is quite synonymous with hype.
No man, not really. Like
again, I am
not synonymous with hype anything. I'm the least hype person.
Why I'm saying that is because I was watching your podcast and one of your co-founders at the time, I believe, was saying that surfers
surf and skate culture
really brought about shoes.
Part of what brought about sneaker culture. It's not about being synonymous with hype, but basically what happened was, right, contextually, skate culture's impact on hype culture as far as Supreme, because Supreme as a brand is big in this hype space, and Supreme was a skate brand that catered to a very specific community. So for skaters around there, associating with that community meant wearing Supreme.
Who will get Bata into sneakers?
Bata is into sneakers actually. They sell a lot of sneakers.
Yeah, but like jo exclusive wale hote hain.
They don't want to do that. It's not relevant to them.
Bata sells sneakers?
Everyone sells sneakers now. It's very cool to sell sneakers, right? But do they want to compete with Nike? No. Bata's got its own line of business. They know what they're doing. They get respect from just the kind of numbers they do, right? It's a very successful business. Every single school kid will go buy Bata shoes for school every year. That's a ludicrous amount of business, dude. It's not the same with Nike.
That's true. Nike is generally expensive ही होते हैं. But tell me something. जो ये Nike के store के अंदर होते हैं, say the average, like a store in Delhi, Select City Walk में कहीं और, there's not the sneakers there.
They come there and they sell out. Because these things have such a high demand and low supply. As soon as they release, in minutes they sell out. Because everybody knows they're worth 3x. Human, dude. I tell you, ये plant ले लो, 5,000 में, बाहर जाके कोई मिल जाएगा 15,000 में खरीद लेगा. Why would you not buy it?
So you're saying कि जो ये average flagship stores होते हैं, they actually get the sneakers.
And it's increased a lot in India now.
And how do you know about these things?
Social media. They promo on social media. A lot of people just keep in touch with the managers, things like that. But now it's very like, earlier it was like on the down low, you had to know someone, this, that, whatever, get lucky. Yeah. But now it's very common knowledge. It's all over the internet. It's all of that.
I heard about something called backdooring.
Yeah, it's basically the idea that when I say keep in touch with the manager, so you slip him some cash to get you something when it releases. It was easier earlier because volumes were low. No one even knew like the Nike stores were getting it. Publicly, it was familiar to everybody that Veg Non-Veg, which is a multi-brand retailer, was getting it, and Superkicks was getting it. Not everybody knew that Nike stores were getting it, what quantity they were getting it. So these store sales reps, they have their own processes and they have clients of their own who they service. They would hit them up saying, yo, the shoe came in, it's 14 grand retail, give me like 18 a pop and tape. Because the shoes were 25, so they make 4, and so on and so forth. So that was happening a lot. But now it's like everybody knows. It's growing a lot in India, basically.
I see. What are some destinations where it's growing? Is it just Mumbai and Delhi?
No, across the country, dude. There's people all over and it's great. So it doesn't really matter much. Tell me more about you, dude. You're from Delhi? So you say you're born here. You live
I was born in Faridabad, which is right next to New Delhi. And I lived there for 18 years. Then I went to college in Boston. Then I lived in Mumbai.
Where did you go to college?
Boston University.
Nice.
So uske baad,
when did you go to BU?
I went to BU in 2015. Yeah.
So 2015 to 19 you were there.
19.
So I probably visited at a time when you were there, dude.
Yeah?
I spent a night there.
Spent a night where?
At BU.
At BU?
In a dorm.
I see. Fun stuff there. Where? Warren Towers? West Campus? You can't remember.
I do not remember.
Yes.
This is part of my trip building this ride-sharing business. I traveled across the states. I was in New York. I did Boston for I think 2 or 3 days. I had a friend who was studying in Berkeley. And a friend who was studying in BU. So I stayed a night with a friend of mine who stays in BU.
Yeah, those dorms are weird.
Very weird, dude.
Bahut chote.
I slept on like half
a twin size bed.
No, half a single size bed.
Oh my god. So this was a twin sharing dorm?
Yeah. There were 2 people. I was friends with one of the friend of mine. Half of her, half bed.
बहुत off scene hai. I've even had people sleep on the floor. It's
that whole trip of mine, I saw I think 14 colleges. And I slept on a lot of floors. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
enjoyed myself.
तुम्हें ऐसा लगता है कि बाहर USA की पढ़ाई बढ़िया है, but it's a lot of poverty. It's just a lot of poverty in the student accommodation, bro. Yeah.
But even in that poverty, it's great, dude.
Yeah.
It's super chill.
I was petrified when I first realized कि you could have co-eds because I'd watched American Pie and like ये सारी पिक्चरें होती हैं ना. I thought कि oh my god, like some crazy insane level of मतलब पूरे दिन parties चलेंगी dorms के अंदर. It's going to be sex everywhere. But I came to LA, I came to Boston and I realized it's just not the same here.
Really? Boston also has Drexel, no?
Yeah.
Drexel apparently has the highest amount of sex in the US.
Really?
I don't know why.
So,
I never visited Drexel.
It's probably because Boston has the highest degree of colleges concentrated in one area, period. But the parties, that's more prevalent in the South, where there's nothing to do. Because universities के पैसा बहुत है. And they're in the middle of nowhere, so they just go ham on that.
I went to Cali also, and there were a few good colleges.
Cali is great. Cali is better. Boston mein, it's also fucking cold.
I saw so many colleges across the country, man. Other than South, I went all over. In Northwestern, I went to Frisco, I went to LA, I went to Claremont, I went across the country. It was fun.
LA ke colleges are always better. They're more. It's always nice when the sun is shining on you. In Boston, it would get brutal. मतलब minus 20 के अंदर.
I can't stand the cold. That was the worst part of Boston.
I really started taking cold showers for life when I came to Boston as a coping mechanism for the cold because there's this thing called a seasonal affective disorder. है ना? लोग बोलते हैं I'm sad. I'm having sad, whatever.
Because
right?
of the weather, man.
Because of the weather. So the only way I would compensate for that is to take really cold showers. Yeah.
It's guts, man. I can't take a cold shower in the heat.
Yeah. Isn't there something about like how people in Mumbai can't stand the cold at all? Like, period.
Cannot.
You know?
Cannot.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's butt fucking sunny outside and you're wearing like long sleeves.
Fucking Delhi was so bad. Yeah, I wear the long sleeves just because I like them. But then I stepped out and I was like, hey, I'm so glad I wore the long sleeves. It's kind of chilly, I liked it.
Yeah.
It's like being cozy.
How long do you want to do this MainStreet enterprise for?
I don't know, man. I'm just taking it one day at a time. I know my vision is for the business. I know how big I want to make it. All that I know. We'll get it there and then we'll see.
I see. Do you have people helping you out in this?
I'm very lucky to have a lot of great people helping me out. I don't think I'd be able to do this without the people helping me out.
So, like, man. Is there a team based in Delhi, Mumbai?
Yeah, we have a team. We have employees based around the country. Delhi, Bombay, Pune. I'm actually from Pune.
You're from Pune?
I'm from Pune. Born and raised in Pune. Uh,
Pune is a more, it's a student city, right?
I mean, for outsiders, yeah, I never really saw it as that, because I was just there. And then you realize, it's quite a bit of student city. I didn't get that for a long time, though.
How do I get into sneakers?
How do you get into sneakers? You would just follow the right Instagram pages. The slippery slope, dude. You'll see it happen. You know, since we spoke first time, you noticed a few things. You learned what bots are. You learned what resale is. Now what are you doing tonight? Having a little party at the store. Just drop by with a couple of friends.
Okay.
Have you been to the store?
I have not been. I've been to Dhanvel a bunch of times. You're having a party.
Then come tonight. It'll be cool. It's like it's not really a party. It's just
I saw the Instagram. It said great food, great music.
That vibe.
Yeah.
Point is, something will catch your eye that you will then see on the internet again. And
it's already caught my eye, bro. I remember yesterday I saw this one shoe. Let me get it right. Nike Low Dunk SB Paul Smith, the one with Paul Smith. I don't know if you've seen it.
No one says it like that.
Sorry. मैं नहीं जानता क्या करूँ.
Okay, I'll teach you this. You just say dunks.
Dunks.
I saw these Paul Smith dunks.
Paul Smith dunks, yes.
So there are dunks and there's SB dunks and there's normal dunks and all that, but no one talks about it.
So I saw, so I'll rephrase that. I saw the SB dunks with Paul Smith.
You saw the Paul Smith dunks.
I saw the Paul Smith. Man, my God. ये system क्या है? Why and how do people remember this? Because
it's language, dude. People are just used to it. It's like most of sneaker culture like trades on WhatsApp groups. People just talk like this.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway, I love the Paul Smith ones. क्योंकि मेरे को याद है कि as a kid, I bought a couple of Paul Smith items that were very expensive, and those were one of my few expensive purchases ever.
Yeah.
But for me, it's confusing because I've always seen brands like Paul Smith, Swarovski for that matter, do the things that they do in their specific field. To collaborate with a shoe brand and create this, Swarovski X Nike is absurd. How do they even get the idea? Are these brands trying to break into cool culture?
That's all that collabs are about, right? That's what's fascinating about them. Swarovski's done like a Supreme T-shirt. Johnson & Johnson has done Band-Aids with Supreme.
Johnson & Johnson
has done Band-Aids. They're on a website right now, man.
you can have fancy Band-Aids.
You can have a Supreme Band-Aid. It looks super cool.
My God, I actually do have a razor cut here. I should buy that.
Well, then you need a Supreme Band-Aid, man. Nothing more fitting.
That's so funny. But it's usable once, right?
Standard. It's a normal Johnson & Johnson Band-Aid, just branded Supreme.
My God. Someone was telling me that Michael Jordan his worn underwear sold for $100,000.
I'm not familiar with this, but I know his worn shoes have sold for like $2 million.
That's crazy. Does he have a cut in all of these? The Jordans?
I mean, it kind of sort of...
उसका नाम तो है
फिर भी. It's a big part of the brand. And all these like auction items, I doubt most of them happen for like charity and shit like that. Doubt he cares, man. It's chilling.
You just have a devil may care attitude to most things.
It's not that. I just don't think anything in life is worth taking too seriously. There's nothing that's so terminal or all so like. It's nothing worth taking so seriously, dude.
Yeah.
I think everything I care. I definitely care.
What do you care about?
People closest to me. I care about what I do deeply, like incredibly deeply. But does that mean that I'm afraid of it, like tanking and failing and starting from scratch? No, I'm fully okay with like tomorrow Nike's like no more resale. Like we will sue you and you will go to jail and whatever. I'll go to jail for 6 months, man. It'll be fun. Focus on gym for a bit.
Read the Mein Kampf.
Read Mein Kampf. So all of those, I genuinely, I care a lot.
Yeah.
But I also don't about like, I don't think it's worth taking stress about getting late somewhere. Like, is traffic in your control? No. I've been reading up a fair bit on like Stoic philosophy. And
what have you been reading? Have you been reading Ryan Holiday? Have you been reading Seneca?
I'm not reading a specific book. I just Google some stuff and then I read like specific theories. And it's more of like, rather than consuming a large volume of information, I like to find small bits that I appreciate and I want to imbibe.
Right.
And then I'll spend some time imbibing. Like, I know for a fact that this whole in your control, not your control thing is something that just runs deep in my blood now.
Yeah.
Like last week, I wanted to go horse riding. And I wanted to go horse riding for a while.
Yeah.
And I booked a session with a friend of mine, and I got home at 4 a.m. that night, and 6:30 I was up to go horse riding. And I'm a deep sleeper, but anyway, I got up, and it was 2.5 hours to the equestrian center. And we get there, and the lesson was like garbage, dude. There's a super uninterested instructor. It was like 30-40 minutes, and we learned a little bit of the basics, but it was like whatever. 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back on a work day that I got back. I take it off as I got to work. But I wasn't even slightly like bummed about it.
Yeah.
I was like, what did I want to do? I wanted to take the initiative to get out and try something new and get to doing something I've always wanted to do and make progress in this direction. And whether the instructor was good or not was not in my control. If I asked them, they wouldn't say he's a shitty instructor. So I was not even slightly phased. And I was thinking about it a couple of days later. I was like, how am I not annoyed by this? Shouldn't I be annoyed? Isn't that what a normal person would do? Like, wow, you went on such low sleep, traveled, all of that. I could barely drive. We started driving and I was passing out. So I asked my friend to drive for a bit. And I drove on the way back. But it was... I was like, okay, since that was not in my control, it shall not faze me.
Yeah.
I
think that happens when you decide what is worth fighting for. You just become resilient in other things. वो तो हो ही जाता है. Because also about horses, I also recently rode a horse, but this is one of those वो नहीं होते जो शादी में you rent the घोड़ीज, right? Because I want to do it for a video. We had a 10K celebration coming up, and I said like,
man.
Thank you. So for that, I said, if you get me 10K, I will literally make the next intro on a horse. So we got to 10K, so I make the intro on a horse. So I had to go and find a horse in a village nearby. मैं वहाँ गया फिर. And I'd play Red Dead Redemption 2,
Sick.
So I know how to control a horse based on the game, right? If you press circle, you can pat the horse if it's, like all over the place. I'm doing all these same things. So very futtery. And my mom is there, everyone's there. And the horse has weird ideas. I'm trying to hold the reins, hold it steady so I can film the video, but the horse insists on moving and it starts running. And there's a road with oncoming traffic. So, and मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, like, I'm even saying the same things that Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2 says, oh, atta girl, ये सब बातें बोल रहा हूँ, and just patting it so that something happens, but nothing is happening. It was just a bad experience in the sense that I thought I had this Avatar wali movie wali cheese kind of like connection with the animal thing going, where I could just sense its vibes and say, listen, hum log ek hain, we can do it. But yeah, I'm also glad that happened because now I know, hey, shit, like, you can't ride horses in real life the way you can ride them in RDR2. It's just not the same.
No way, man. I had no idea. I was like, it's got to be the same, right?
I mean, this is the problem. You have a template from somewhere. It's a bad template. You're bound to use it in new situations, right? Unless something happens.
Who told you like riding horses with buttons and in real life it's going to be the same?
It
doesn't sound like a template.
No, just...
Didn't the game open with don't try this at home or some shit?
Nahin. They even have the horses drifting.
Fault. We should sue them.
Yeah. If you get to level 3 in the game, you can even do drifting with the horses. That? Yeah. No, I couldn't do that with this horse.
Next time.
Next time for sure, bro. I really want to do the whole thing where the horse is pissed and it gets up on its 4 legs and then I calm it down. Yeah. Why did you get into horses? Were you just growing up around horses?
No, I never grew up around horses, man. I grew up in a city. There was no horses. I was just fascinated, man. I've always loved animals. There's a little gray area in my head because I'm also very, anti-animal cruelty and like industrialization of animals in general.
Yeah.
So it was a gray area for me for a long time. But I just wanted to... I know friends who are big on like just, horse riding and they talk about the connection they build with the animals and I love the idea of that. I really just like interacting with animals of all kinds.
Yeah.
I care about that. I care about animals. That's some shit I'll take seriously. If I see like an animal going through some shit, like,
yeah,
I can't deal with that shit.
It's weird. There's a bunch of, there ऐसे videos circulate होती है ना of people dragging dogs through the streets.
Cannot watch that shit.
And the fur just
can we not?
It's a beautiful picture to paint. I saw it. In fact, one of my friends and I we were cycling from here to Gurgaon and we were outside a temple and this woman was dragging a dog through the street. So we stopped her. But that was something.
I would beat the shit out of her.
I don't think it was appropriate to beat the shit out of her. She was quite old, which was sad. Like, this was a 60-year-old woman on a...
beat the shit out of her. Do not touch a dog like that.
Yeah, this is weird. There's also videos circulating of people, वो जो कुत्ते की tail करके. अच्छा, ठीक है. Last story. Moving on from there, what was it like, I don't know, just getting funding from Kunal Shah?
I mean, Kunal's cool, right? He kind of sort of invests everywhere. It's his form of giving back. I'm basically a charity case. At the time of him making his commitment to us, it was in public knowledge. I also didn't know he was investing everywhere at the time.
Yeah.
So I felt quite special.
Yeah.
But what I'm lucky and grateful for is that I have access to him. Like, I can text him on WhatsApp. And I actually had coffee with him much before we were raising.
Okay.
That's another thing I was just really lucky for. I was lucky enough I was in Bangalore for 3 days. And a friend of mine introduced me to Kunal, and he agreed to have coffee with me. And, at that time he was like, what do you want from me? And I was like, nothing, I just want to have coffee and pick your brains. And I hung out with him for a while, and it was amazing. And he gave me a bunch of brilliant insights. And a few months later when we were raising, I was like, hey, we're raising money.
Does he speak in tweets?
He does. He very literally does. It's the same. It's the exact same language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it must be cool, na? Ki once you've raised funding and you're in this circle, you have access to a lot of cool people that you can just, that you can casually pick the brains of.
Yeah, that's something I'm just grateful for in general. Since we started MainStreet, I've had access to anyone I need and wanted to.
You mean anyone, quite literally anyone?
Most people, I've grown up watching or fans of or that kind of stuff. Like Kunal, I was a fan for so long, and I had access. I managed to get coffee with him. That was all MainStreet. Everything we just spoke of and passing is oh damn, we should sell shoes to Ranbir Kapoor one day. When we were kids in Pune, you had no access to anything, and then every couple of months Ranbir texts me saying, hey V, how you doing?
That's crazy.
And he's like, I want to get these shoes, and I'm like, sure, and then we send them over, and it's great. And it blows my mind, right? Because we're in an industry where everybody sells the same things. So how do you come from no money, no connections to a strange city, and we somehow managed to be biggest in the space, and we're the only ones who service this clientele?
Is it competitive? How many people are out there doing the same thing that you do?
Thousands of people.
In India only?
Competitive? No.
Nahin?
Not for me, man. I don't look at it. I don't look at anybody as competition. I don't want us to take the largest piece of this pie. I really just want the pie to grow. I'm very encouraging for everybody else who does it. I build as much. I almost uploaded our quarterly report on Twitter. I got a lot of flack for it. But I love the idea of just building in public. I have nothing to hide. I think if you're doing something because you're hiding it from someone else and you don't really have the merit for it, you got lucky. I don't want to be first or only. I just want to be best.
Yeah. That is a marketing mix, by the way. First, best, only. Huh?
Yeah, but there's also this thing that I'm not I don't want to be the only one doing it. I'm not worried about other people doing it. If you are, then that's a problem with what you're building. It's a problem with your ability to build. I have no interest in I will happily share all insights I have with anyone who treats us like competition or whatever. I've been very open about everything we're doing because I don't know, man. I just don't think it's worth that energy,
Right.
And in general, I think the more people who are playing this are more people who are trying to get the industry to grow. And there will be times we won't be the best. Maybe we'll slip up. Maybe someone will get bigger than us. Right now, there isn't anybody, and that kind of sucks because I'm it's a little bit boring up here. But
so you're competing with people abroad, or looking at them.
You can't do that, right? Abroad, people have built these businesses as answers. The business, the industry exists, the demand exists, and they're building product as an answer. So much is happening, let me build.
Right.
In India, we're building it as a question. How do we build product that incentivizes you to get into sneakers and then shop? Abroad, that get you into sneakers is not a thing. So we're really building an ecosystem, a little world of our own. Man. That's all it is.
If I buy a shoe from your website, and say something happens, you're not able to source it, what happens then?
Everything on our website is in our inventory.
But does it happen कि कभी ऐसा होता you buy something as a consumer?
हाँ, नहीं मिल जाए तो refund हो जाता है बस, और क्या?
That's it?
You want to sue me?
नहीं मैं I'm asking because you said कि ना इसमें exclusivity होती है, there's more demand than supply.
अगर दुनिया में है कहीं तो है, हम मंगा लेंगे.
तो that comes from the network that you have, your team has, and like how do you get?
It's not a special network. Look, we are not saying सिर्फ हमारे पास. We are just curating from an open market, free trade market, stock market है.
Right.
We're just putting it all together for you and providing a good experience for you, giving you trust. कल को कुछ हो गया, ये हुआ, वो हुआ, साइज नहीं फिट हुआ, और चाहिए, बात करनी है, should I buy this, should I not, opinion, consultation, needed faster, बेटी का birthday है, जल्दी करवाओ. You can call us and tell us and we will care about that.
Right.
You know, that is why people buy from us, is that you can expect us to empathize with whatever your situation is as a consumer. And our top clientele is, our clientele is not people who don't know other people are selling it or other people selling it for cheaper. They know who's selling it for cheaper, where. They're just not interested in going anywhere else after a while, They're shopping frequently. They want to know just text. They want to know we'll send it home. They want to know we'll change the size up in case. They want to know that shit. They don't want to take out their card and pay right now. Next time they come to the store, they'll pay. They want to know that it's okay for them to get the shoe today and the office will process it on Monday. Whatever,
Who's a hype beast?
Someone who just really cares about hype.
ऐसा क्या हो गया यार? क्या सवाल बुरा लगा क्या? It was like, I don't want, like, what do you want to talk about?
No, I was like, hype beast कैसे explain कर? Ranveer Singh यार, बस. In a word.
So that's just flamboyant dressing.
Hype dressing, loud. Not even loud. I'd say just people who care very specifically about hype. Everything they wear is hype. Boxers to, cap to glasses, sub. मतलब Supreme LV ये वो वगैरह hype.
यार जैसे मैं हूँ, I've been trying to move to clothes that have no labels because I hate the idea of like wearing another man's name or woman's name on my. मेरे को अजीब सा लगता है कि मतलब देखो मैं कहीं जा रहा हूँ, इस किसी और आदमी का नाम लिखा हुआ है, तो करती रहे दुनिया. मैं बहन जो अगर मैं अपने हिसाब से अपनी इंडिविजुअलिटी नहीं निकाल सकता तो फायदा क्या है? Isn't clothing about personal expression?
No one in the world has individuality according.
No, it's just that कि okay अगर आप CK पहनते हो.
Specific people with whom you have a problem.
I think I have a problem with Calvin Klein because my mom bought me a bunch of Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein.
Is that wrong, dude? To like.
No, it's not wrong.
To correct like.
No, it's not wrong at all. I do it all the time.
I'd much rather like. You get it right now and you don't make a fool of yourself like in front of other people.
And you know what the crazy part is? It's always nice to make a fool of yourself because then people feel smarter about themselves, which is even nice because then they open up.
That's my thing. I don't know if I want to be correcting people, dude.
No, सही है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. वो तो यार, for example,
I don't think it makes me smarter to know what Calvin Klein is versus Klein. I don't think it's like a smarter thing. It's just like a.
Hey, listen, this happens with even words like someone says exaggerate instead of exaggerate, so you correct them. तो वो तो हो जाता है. That's fine. But it's mostly just
is it like. I feel like it's almost condescending to not correct.
It's the same. It comes from a place of deep-seated politeness that you need to get fixed.
So let's just set in stone that I am deep-seated polite.
But I'm just sick of wearing.
Someone asks you how's it.
He's a deep-seated polite.
He has a lot of deep-rooted politeness.
Yeah, he's a DSP
within him.
Yeah,
extremely polite gentleman.
Yeah. No. मेरे को वो अजीब सा लगता है. And I know even like in the States people rip off labels when they buy certain things. ऐसा.
Why don't you like Calvin, dude? It's like Justin Bieber wears that shit.
Yeah, तो क्या हो गया? Justin Bieber को मेरा पसंदीदा इंसान थोड़ी है.
Gorgeous man. What are you saying?
Yeah, no, it's just I'm just trying to get to a place where
कौन है पसंदीदा इंसान?
पसंदीदा इंसान कौन है? In terms of clothing?
Everything कौन है?
ऐसे तो यार बहुत सारे हैं. I mean, I do these podcasts 5 days a week, so जो आता है सामने वही पसंद होता है.
एक नाम ले लो.
ऐसा कोई नहीं है. कोई है नहीं. I don't think so.
शाहरुख खान तो होगा.
I like Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan's cool. Yeah.
Anyone you love, मतलब like
like that.
Deep-rooted प्यार
तो आता ही नहीं यार किसी के लिए.
किसी के लिए पत्थर. Who hurt you, man?
No, I think my casual indifference makes me a great podcaster because I don't get too involved. But no, seriously, for you, because I remember again based on your first few videos that you were talking about how your style is very minimalistic, and I don't see you wearing a lot of like big name labels as well. So I'm sure there must be a part of this community as well. No,
it's just me.
The labels or the logos are smaller.
It's just me.
It's just you.
The community is the opposite.
Yeah.
There were people who come to you and be like, नहीं यार इस पर दिख रहा नहीं, मतलब थोड़ा आगे होना चाहिए पीछे.
But ऐसे नहीं लगता, मतलब यार हो सकता है. I just come from a different mindset to this. When I see someone like
Cool
wearing just
mindset is.
अबे यार सुन तो ले यार, तू है जो अब तू अपनी इंडस्ट्री का वो कर रहा है, तू बात सुन. Hear a discomforting opinion. So, and I see this in clubs all the time. You know, when like people are rocking Gucci's or फिर नीचे LV पहन रखे. I'm like, where's the personality, bro? Is it just the clothes?
सही है.
Is it just the clothes? And that's what my question is. Like, I feel like people overdress.
का आया.
It's here.
Green shirt पहन कहाँ है बस.
अब देख यार ये ना ये street style वाली दिक्कत है. These guys, like
अरे मैं कभी नहीं पहनूंगा.
नहीं.
I just don't think there's anything set in stone. मतलब गुच्ची वाले के पास पर्सनालिटी हो सकती है और प्लेन वाले के पास नहीं हो सकती है. These are not like definitive metrics. Is all I'm saying.
Tough conversations with Vedant Lamba. Yeah. Yeah, no, really. Because
mindset वाला reel.
Man, I would like to get my mind changed, and I'm slowly getting there.
No, I don't think your mind is due for change in the situation. I also don't know. My point is just that we are very quick to judge other people's status-seeking actions. And our status-seeking actions end up being judging people's status-seeking actions.
That's true.
लेकिन सबके गेम अलग होते हैं. बस किसी को गुची पहन के status मतलब खरीदना.
But you do realize this is a part of it, right?
किसी को, you know, some people like to make fun of them to get status. मतलब their statuses look, I'm not like them. But like, सब ठीक है. They're all okay.
You do realize this is a part of it, right? A big part of like wearing cool clothes is a status that comes with it.
अरे big no. My whole business is status only. We sell status.
Yeah.
That's all. It is literally, I've defined it as a SaaS business in like other interviews. Status as a service.
That's crazy. That's a smart tagline.
It is just that. Buying from MainStreet is status driving. That is our achievement. That in a space where everybody sells the same shoes, हमसे खरीद के कुछ स्पेशल मिल रहा है. कुछ नहीं स्पेशल मिल रहा. जूता वही है.
Can these go to mass market at all? Can you see like the average Indian wearing like Air Jordans?
कभी होगा ही नहीं. लेकिन that's why Nike does limit. Why would Nike को पता है कि इसके 1 लाख बनाओगे तो 10 करोड़ लोग खड़े हो जाएंगे लाइन में खरीदने के लिए. क्यों नहीं बनाएंगे 10 करोड़ जूते? क्योंकि उनको पता है कि इसके 1 लाख बनाएंगे तो 10 करोड़ दूसरे जूते बिक जाएंगे. It is giving them also status. The dynamic.
I see. And why hasn't Puma succeeded in India? Why is
Puma is actually the most successful brand in India.
Really? Why do we see less of it as opposed to Nike or Reebok?
Puma is more mass. Puma's ASP is lower. Puma's just built.
What is ASP?
Average selling price.
Okay.
Puma's just done an incredible job building business in India. Puma, let's talk 2020. Nike very stably for like 4-5 years is 700-800 crores in India. Adidas was growing steadily, went from 8 to 1,000 to 1,200 crores. Puma was at 1,500.
That's crazy.
Puma killed it.
But are they just quieter in their marketing? Why do we see?
Yeah, they're very loud. They're just not targeting you. You don't like labels.
Just gonna take my case the entire time now.
It's true, yeah. I mean, they know who they're selling to, right? They know to make it.
I used to love Puma as a kid. They had an excellent
they're very heartbroken when
sports starts.
Moved on. So UK wale boots pehne shuru kar de, isko chodo.
I love it when people say ki, hey, I'm leaving you as a customer, and they think that's a thing, as if that's going to make a dent on the company. You know, I mean, I see it in the YouTube comments as well. I do not like this, I will unsubscribe. Great. Kar lo.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, man, you can't make all customers happy. It's damn funny.
Acha, specific selfish question. I've been trying to get good boots here because I'm a fan of boots. But यहाँ पे I go to the standard Aldos and all जो ये मिलते हैं. Is it Aldo?
क्या पता.
ठीक है, you're gonna not say that. But where can I get good boots? If I want to get good boots,
I think Timberland is great.
Timberland.
But
वो तो it's more outdoorsy, like fashionable boots.
अंदर वाले boots चाहिए.
हाँ.
Socks पहन ले.
नहीं जो ऐसे everyday उसमें पहन सकते हैं, because
Timberlands are good to wear every day. They really break into your feet. People who wear Timbs like swear by them. They've been popular for years and generations. They're popular around the world for a reason.
Okay. Good
boots. And they also, have a nice logo and a little bit of status that comes with it.
Sweet.
Timbs. Cool shoes.
Do you like boots?
Isn't it cool?
Are you expected to be the founder of MainStreet to always be repping cool clothes?
It's the complete opposite. I mean, I don't know about the expectation from other people, but I'm never like wearing cool clothes.
When I was at your thingy that you were hosting at some place in Bandra, I forget.
Bowling alley.
Bowling alley, that bowling alley. Someone called Nick Knock on Instagram came to me and he was telling me कि मैं उसे पूछ रहा था कि ये scene क्या है again as a complete newbie to this, and he was saying look वो hoodie 26,000 की है, वो जूते 1 लाख के हैं, and he was helping me out with this. And I was surprised because I was speaking to other friends who own sneakers. They say they almost never wear them. So who's the rare person who wears these?
It's not very rare actually. I mean, of course, statistically it's rare, but in this community, people who have them wear them. A lot of them wear them. Some people like to just keep them at home and keep them clean. There are people around the country who wear them like every day. They're wearing a different like 2 lakh issue every day.
My God. and so they can't sell them once they're worn in?
They can. Yeah, we help them very often. Sometimes they want to buy a new 5 lakh rupee shoe and they just sell like 10 shoes worth 30K. They bought for like 70K.
But yeah, legit, this is like stock. You can also like do investing on this, right?
Of course. That's where I built my life from.
Yeah. Have you studied stock markets to see how they work to make?
Fair amount.
Yeah.
A fair amount. I've been interested since I was a child. My dad's in finance. Yes, he wrote a book on the stock market also.
What is it called?
It's called Flirting with Stocks.
Nice.
I grew up just talking finance with my dad. Very fascinated by that space. I'm more fascinated by like the world of finance than I am by sneakers.
Yeah. So sneakers is just a mechanism for how you make that happen. Yeah.
I have a big vision to make sneakers like a derivative regulated trading asset. I don't know if that's
quite possible. When I was telling you about the company Masterworks, right? They've done that with paintings.
Nuance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance attached to it. Also about what scale you can take it to and if it's relevant to be building that from India. But yeah, it's part of the ambition. You know?
Yeah, it's very cool, man.
That's basically, that's what's up.
Sweet. So we're at the 11 a.m. mark.
I'm going to do another podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. I've been doing, every time I do one, like a couple of people invite me to theirs and it's cool. I'm not at that stage in my life.
We should
say no to anyone.
Yeah, no, you said that last time. But we should do a longer one whenever, we have a little bit more time.
How long do you do this, dude?
2.5 hours, 3 weeks chal jata kabhi.
What is your retention like?
It's pretty damn high. The average retention, I can't reveal on camera, but I will tell you off camera. Aise?
It's like damn competition.
Deliberate secrecy. Deliberate secrecy. Okay, so
how do you want to do this? We can keep chatting. My cab is here if you're okay with that.
Bro, nahi, aise nahi. We'll end it and then kyunki wo mushkil ho jayega. So people can find you on?
People can find me on Instagram. People can find
Vedu Lamba, and there's MainStreet TV, there's MainStreet Marketplace on Instagram as well. Yes. There's a YouTube channel.
There's a YouTube channel called MainStreet TV.
MainStreet TV,
and there's our website, mainstreet.co.in.
Sweet. This is obviously a meeting of two worlds, and mujhe acha laga baat karke. Thank you for being on Dostcast. Thank you for coming from Delhi to Faridabad to make this happen.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all on next Tuesday or Friday whenever this releases. Bye-bye.
Make sure to subscribe.